Okay, so let's talk about Renfield. This is the movie from Chris McKay, Nicholas Hoult, Nicolas Cage, and also Aquafina. And let me just start off by saying this was one of my most anticipated films. I was very excited. The trailer looked awesome to me. I was excited when we first got that first look at Nicolas Cage as Dracula, and then I saw the movie. So here are my thoughts and opinions. So before we get into it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers, less than 3,000 to go. So super excited to get to that milestone right there. But let's talk about this movie, my thoughts and my opinions on it. So first and foremost, Nicolas Cage as Dracula is Nicolas Cage as Dracula. It gave me everything I wanted and more. Really enjoyed his performance. I would love to see more of him in the future installment of this movie if they were to make one, but I think that it was just so great to see Nicolas Cage as Dracula, and my minor issue with that was not enough Nicolas Cage as Dracula. That was one of the first things going into this movie that I was very anticipating, was to see these interactions with Nicolas Cage, Nicholas Hoult, and also Aquafina and everybody else involved in this. And to say the least, I was kind of a little disappointed we didn't get enough Nicolas Cage. But besides the point, I am excited to see Nicolas Cage every year coming back with a younger actor opposite of him playing these really wacky roles. Last year we saw with Pedro Pascal, and I just thought it was great. So I'm excited to see him back this year. Now, the story basically follows Renfield, who is played by Nicholas Hoult, who is trying to come off of these very abusive power struggle between him and Dracula, being his familiar and all, giving you some vibes of Guillermo in the What We Do in the Shadows TV show, which I think we definitely get those vibes a little bit more clearer over there, and I'll talk more about that. But one of the first things I really loved about this movie, and I want to talk about, is the action in this. I did not expect the action to be as stylistic, as brutal as it was, over the top, in all the best ways possible. I didn't expect that. I was thinking we were going to get a little action here and there and was going to be more of a comedy. But to me, I think this movie really shines its best when it really dives into that action sequence that I thought was just amazing to see. Overall, I think Awkwafina and Nicholas Hoult, when it comes to the action, did a very good job at portraying this very intense battles between them and the gang that is in here, the Lobos, which is interesting because it really is vampires versus werewolves, the movie, if you really think about it. And I really love that about it as well, that it kind of took a little spin on that. I think that New Orleans setting as well could have been used a little bit more, but the times it was used, it made sense, and it kind of gave it a little bit more style to the movie if it was just said where all movies are always set, like in some random city or New York or California, whatever. But I really did enjoy that, and I think more movies should really venture out to more different scenery. I thought the comedy here was good every now and then. It really didn't land on me a lot of the times, but overall I thought it was a very decent movie when it came to the comedy. Awkwafina, Nicholas Hoult, Nicolas Cage very much so can hold their own as well, and I really would have loved to see more chemistry between Nicholas Hoult and Awkwafina. I feel like their chemistry was sort of brewing at times, and then it came to a screeching halt, because I think the pacing was a little off here and there with the movie. At times it would go really fast and then it would slow down a lot, so that was kind of a minor issue with it. But I think when you watch the movie as a whole and you finally get to that ending, I think it packages as well very nicely, and I think that that is definitely due to the fact that all three of these actors can really hold themselves up. I think that we also get some very interesting choices when it comes to seeing how the story progresses, because the way I imagined the story being when I first saw the trailer was nothing from what I saw in the movie, and I think the movie did a good job when it came to its trailer at just giving you a feel of what was about to go on, and I think it really does give you some very awesome moments that aren't in the trailer in the movie, which I think are just beautifully done, and just with a packed crowd, everybody cheering, screaming, it just took it to another level. This has nothing to do with the movie, but I'm just giving it an extra bonus point just for having a My Chemical Romance needle drop, which I love My Chemical Romance, so I was excited hearing that on the big screen, and the sequence it was in, it made sense. But overall, like I said, Renfield is definitely a movie that I would have loved to see a lot more of this action, because I think that the way they choreographed everything, the camera work, the cinematography, the special effects, and all of that were just beautifully done, and it really packed a punch. Honestly, somebody in the theater that I was in just screamed a John Wick in one of them, and it definitely was on John Wick-esque less action here. So I was definitely happy with the action. Like I said, the comedy for me lacked a bit. I thought some of the jokes didn't land or stick enough, but I think overall I had a few chuckles here and there. And like I said, Nicolas Cage as Dracula, it's a performance that's going to stick with you because he plays a very peculiar Dracula, but at the same time can be quite terrifying, which I thought he very much so executed that perfectly. This sort of like vampire that you don't know if you can trust or not. He seems kind of friendly, but then out of nowhere he can turn on you. And I think Nicolas Cage going full on Nicolas Cage at points with Dracula was something that was just the cherry on top. So I definitely enjoyed that. Nicolas Hoult and Awkwafina I think were great for the most part, like I said, together. I just wish they had a little bit more chemistry, but that was just due to the fact that this movie is an hour and 30 minutes and they try to pack a lot of things into it. So I feel a lot of things get brushed over too quickly. But I think that overall this is definitely a fun movie. If you're just looking for something of a campy B-horror movie type style, this is your movie. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it, and I definitely don't regret watching it. But I did want a little bit more Nicolas Cage. Like I said, I would definitely watch a Nicolas Cage Dracula movie, just Nicolas Cage just going about the ages, the years throughout the globe and everything being Dracula, because I thought that he was such an interesting character. But overall, what do we give Renfield? I would definitely say Renfield for me is around a 3.7. I definitely did enjoy it. I thought that it was funny at times. I thought the action was the best part of it all. It was just so cool seeing these different action sequences as well. And Nicolas Cage's Dracula, I mean, how much better can that get, right? So I give Renfield a 3.7 out of 5. And I would definitely say if you're going to watch this movie, watch it with a crowd or a group of friends or something, because I think the reactions and everything that everybody gets throughout is one of the best experiences with these movies like this one. And so I definitely do recommend seeing it in a crowd in the theater if you can, or at home with a group of friends, or whatever the case may be. But it is definitely worth checking out just for the Nicolas Cage if you're a fan, for sure. But overall, that's my thoughts, my opinions on Renfield. Like I said, the action is the best part of it all. It is just so stylistic and just over the top. There is one sequence towards the end that is just bonkers. So I'm definitely excited to know your thoughts and your opinions on the movie down below. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and your opinions on Renfield, if you watch it or not. Are you going to be seeing it if you haven't watched it yet? Down below in the comments. But like I said before, we do have a giveaway right now currently going on. Once we reach 27,500 subscribers, we will tell you what that giveaway will be and how it will all work. But all you have to do is just be subscribed and hit that notification so you know when that giveaway video comes. But as always, that is going to do it for me. Make sure you follow us on all our social medias, on our website as well, www.culturelixir.com. And as always, I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.